Hello everyone, jumping ahead here for Hyde passage 97. This one is a little bit more tricky, so my apologies if it sounds confusing. I'm having to jump sort of to and fro here. I'll do my best to get it to make some sense. We begin with Hae sunt nationes. These are the people, these are the tribes, quae, which once, tam longe a suis sedibus, which once set forth, which once profectae sunt, which once quondam set forth, tam longe, so far from their own homes, to Delphi and to the Pythian Apollo. So this was, if you remember, Apollo, the god of prophecy, who inspired, as it says in the notes, this priestess to give prophecies. Pythian named because he conquered the dragon there. Anyway, etc., etc. And so that they set out to Delphi and to the Pythian Apollo and to Vexandum Oraculum. Notice the Oraculum and Vexandum, or the Vexandum agreeing with the Oraculum, and to upset and despoil the oracle. Cicero's point here is that these people have no, I suppose, religious sanctity. They have no religious reverence, and he is asking them, as it says there, suggesting that the jury ignore the evidence that will be given by some Gauls against Fonteius. How can we trust these oaths of such an irreligious people who go as far as to practice human sacrifice, as it says in the notes? So they went there to Vexandum, to anger the oracle, to anger and despoil the oracle. Ab istem gentibus sanctis et in testimonio religios obsessum Capitolium est. So you need to make Capitolium your subject. The capital hill was, this is quite a famous story of it being besieged by the Gaul, was besieged by those same, we get here some good Ciceronian sarcasm or irony, by those same tribes, sanctis, sacred and religious in their testimonio, in their oath. So the Capitoline was besieged by those same tribes, sacred and religious in their oath, and that Jupiter, whose name, so it's actually the Jupiter, it's actually meaning here the temple of Jupiter, and that Jupiter, whose name, nostri maiores, our ancestors, the comparative form of that meaning elders, our elders, voluerunt, wanted to bind their oath. Nice contrast here between the Gauls and their oath and the Romans with theirs. Postremo. Finally, is anything able to videre, deponent verb, to seem sanctum, sacred and religious, to these men, qui, who, if ever, si quando, who, if they ever are adducti, led on by fear, moved by fear, who, if they are ever moved by some fear, they arbitrantur, judge that the gods are to be, therefore gerundive, because it's passive, agreeing with the deos, are to be pleased. So if ever they are moved by fear, they judge that the gods ought to be, so gerundive indirect statement, they judge that the gods should be pleased. They judge that the gods, that in order to, they judge that for the gods to be pleased, they should funestant, they should, as it says there, defile their altars and temples with their with human bodies, with the human bodies of their enemies, with human victims. They should defile the altars and temples of their gods with human victims. But with the result that, so that they are not able, so that indeed they are not able to worship a religion, nisi, without having first violated, unless they have first violated that same religion before, prius, with scelere, with crime. Quis enim, for who does not know that right to this very day they keep, for who, this is really good xenophobia from Cicero here, for who, when I'm there busy talking to you about his thoughts on human justice and human law and how people are in some way equal, this goes to prove that that was not always the case if he didn't want it to be. For who does not know that they keep, for who does not know that eos right up to this day, retinere, that they keep that imanem, that inhuman and barbaric custom of humans being sacrificed, of human sacrifice. Great gerundive exercise this. Quam ob rem quali. On account of what cause? For what cause do you existimatis, do you believe that they, what then do you judge that there is in them in honour, and what of piety? So on account of what? And of what cause do you think that there is in them of piety or of trust? So what do you, on account of what cause do you think that there is for them in trust, literally that they have in faith or in piety, those who arbitrentor, those who even believe that the gods are able to be most easily placated or pleased by the crimes of humans and by blood, and with blood. What do you believe that there is in them of trust or of piety? What do you believe that there is for those men of trust or of piety who believe, who judge that the gods are to be placated by human crime, by the crime of humans, and by blood? Cum his vos testibus vestram religionem. What then do you think is there of piety and of blood? Yes. And do you propose to join, will you join your own vestram religionem, your own religion, will vos conjungentis, will you join vestram religionem, your own religion, with these vows? Will you attribute, or is it from these that you will look? So, will you putarbitis? Will you look for anything, for any speech that is sacred or controlled from these men? Yeah. So, will you putarbitis? Will you think anything? Will you think their speech sacred, that they have spoken religiously or moderately? Will you think anything said sacredly or moderately? Will you think, putarbitis, will you think quicquam, anything, dictum, to have been said with religion, sancte, literally sacredly, or moderat, or moderately, apis, from these men? That was a difficult one. Very well done, everybody. I'll see you all next lesson.